Hey guys, what's going on? Hope you all are doing well. We actually got a brand new series here that I'm so excited to kick off with you guys, where we're going to be talking about different draftable prospects that the Jets could be looking at in a couple weeks, right? As we all know as football fans here, the draft quickly approaching, okay? And I've said this from time and time again, and you guys know this as well. This draft, the 2020 draft for the Jets, is going to be monumental for the team's future moving forward. Why? Because Joe Douglas, this is Joe Douglas's first draft with the Jets. This is his first draft as a general manager where he is 100% in control and calling the shots. We're going into year 3 of Sam Darnold's career, and we got to make sure as an organization, as a coaching staff, as a front office, we get Darnold the protection, we get Darnold the weapons for him to have success. Right? We need to continue the trend of him growing and developing as a quarterback because he's not a refined product as of right now. So anyway, the point of this series, or how I'm kind of going to structure it, is I'm going to be doing 2 videos a day. One video being dedicated to a first round caliber pick, right? So maybe a guy that we could be looking at spot number 11, trading down and taking a guy, trading up and taking a guy, because we don't really know Joe Douglas's tendencies here as a general manager. He could be aggressive and be one of those guys that really wants to trade up, or he could be one of those guys like Belichick and Pete Carroll that just love trading back, right? Like slowly but surely just trading back in the in draft. So we don't really know how Douglas works. So we're going to be taking a look at a bunch of different first rounders, as well as a bunch of different middle round guys, right? Second, third, fourth round guys that we're going to be talking about in separate videos. So each player is going to be getting their own specific video, and we're going to dive in strengths, weaknesses, pros, cons, how they fit with the team, how they fit with the offense and defense. It's going to be cool. So let's get right into it. Actually, before I get into it, and I know we're 2 minutes in, just want to quickly say Happy Easter. Happy Easter to everybody out there watching. I know this is definitely a weird time in world history with the virus and everything like that. I feel like life as we know it is just put on pause. Stores are closed. People aren't working. It's a crazy, crazy time. But just do something that you love today. Spend time with your family, your friends. Whether you want to sleep all day, go for a run, whatever you want to do something that you love because life's short. All right. So first episode, it's CeeDee Lamb, right? Number 1, electrifying wide receiver out of Oklahoma. This is a dude right now who, and I've, a bunch of Jets fans have said this and kind of had the same feeling that I have had. A bunch of you guys have. CeeDee Lamb has been probably number 1, number 2, number 3 on your personal draft boards for months, right? This is one of those weird years where, the mock drafts that are being created today, now are pretty much the same mock drafts that have been, that were made back in January. Nothing's really changing. It's kind of the same old stuff. No players are really rising. No players are really falling. It's just kind of the same old thing. And CeeDee Lamb virtually has been number 1 or number 2 or 1A, 1B on every single, fan of football's board for pretty much the entire year. So everybody knows CeeDee Lamb is a legit player. Now, 6'2", 195 pounds. My favorite trait about CeeDee Lamb, or my favorite thing that kind of shines to me when I look at Lamb, when I look at his numbers, when I look at him on tape, he was able to absolutely dominate with 3 different quarterbacks: Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield. And yes, you could say, oh, well, 2 of those guys are number 1 overall picks, so yeah, he's going to do well with first round picks, or first round NFL quarterbacks. But here's the thing. The level of dominance that CeeDee Lamb displayed year after year after year, 3 years in the Big 12 at Oklahoma, crazy, right? Crazy. His touchdowns went up every year. His receiving yards went up every single year. People point to DeAndre Hopkins, and people recognize his status as one of the top wide receivers in the NFL. CeeDee Lamb, really one of the reasons why is because he put up great numbers with guys like T.J. Yates, Brandon Weeden, right? Just random guys. Before Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins was balling, and everybody knew that. CeeDee Lamb's kind of the same thing. He just continues to dominate the sport of college football with whoever's playing quarterback. Lamb, or Mayfield, Murray, Hurts, doesn't matter. Lamb's going to get his numbers. He's going to score touchdowns, right? He had a whopping 14 touchdowns last season. Are you kidding me? 14 touchdowns. It's insane, right? Remember, there's less games in college football than there is in the pros. 14 touchdowns. insane, right? There's quarterbacks in the pros that didn't even throw for 14 touchdowns. This guy caught 14. Crazy. He's extremely, extremely good, talented on the deep balls, right? It seems like he catches everything that's thrown to him. Every single pass thrown down, beyond like 20 yards the line of scrimmage, 20-yard pass plays downfield, this guy's a vertical threat. This guy can make an impact day one, instantly, okay? Instantly. So, first team Big 12 in 2019, consensus All-American in 2019. It's obvious this guy is a dominant beast. He's going to be a first-round pick. He's going to be a top 15 pick. Everybody knows that. He has the size. He has the separation ability. He has the route running. But most importantly, I think the biggest thing with CeeDee Lamb, not only is his physicality, right? Because he's not one of those like finesse guys that like runs out of bounds like a Tavon Austin or like doesn't want to get hit. He will go over the middle. He will catch bubble screens and run up the seams. He's not afraid to get tackled here. So it's not only his physicality, right, winning at 50-50 balls, jump balls in the end zone. He's not afraid to fight the cornerbacks, to kind of get in the grill of corners and really make his physical presence known. Not only that, but just his explosiveness and his overall quickness. That's what sets him apart. You watch this guy on tape, okay, and time and time again, it's the same like Lincoln Riley kind of and the spread, air raid kind of college system that we see all across the Big 12 and really college football as a whole, where it's just a bubble screen, right? Where you kind of have the wide receiver kind of, as soon as the ball snapped, take like 2 steps in and just get ready for the pass. Everybody knows it's going to him, and it looks like the pocket around Lamb is collapsing, and he just bursts out of it, no problem. Okay, so bottom line is this. CeeDee Lamb is no joke. CeeDee Lamb, to me, and of course, barring any injuries, barring any crazy off-the-field thing, I think he's going to be an NFL star. I'm not saying he's going to be Julio Jones next year. I'm not saying he's going to be A.J. Green or DeAndre Hopkins or Michael Thomas next year. But I think in 2 to 3 years, he's going to be a top 5, top 10 wide receiver. That's what I think CeeDee Lamb's going to be. Okay, so how does he fit with this Jets team? Is he even a good fit at all? The answer is yes. Obviously, yes. And you guys are obviously, knowledgeable Jets fans here. You guys know he's a damn talented player, and he's going to come in and be great for this Jets squad. How does he fit with the Jets offensive system, right? The Gase system. When you watch Gase's system, it's a lot of spread looks, right? Darnold's out of the shotgun a lot. There's a lot of quick passing in that system. There's a lot of slants. There's a lot of screens. There's a lot of bubble screens and slip screens. Part of that could be, you could say, oh, well, the offensive line is not good, so we're trying to get the ball out of Darnold's hands quickly, get him in a rhythm early so he's not being hit early on, and then, by the time the third quarter rolls around, he's just kind of off balance and off rhythm, and the offense is stalling. So from a system fit, CeeDee Lamb fits the system perfectly, okay? And, kind of going back to the offensive line being bad, we did upgrade that, that aspect of the offense, adding guys like Fant and Van Roten and these guys, bringing back Alex Lewis. So I do expect, and I'm assuming here because I assumed last year and the O-line did not get better, it got worse. I'm assuming that the O-line will be better, but I still look at Lamb as, one of the guys that if he's on the board, the Jets cannot afford to pass him up. That's how highly I think of this guy. Like I said, he's been in the limelight for 3 years, continue to get better, continue to rack up yards and touchdowns and catches. Guy's a great player. I love his overall system fit with the team. I think he's going to come in the immediate, the first day that this guy comes in the building and signs his contract, he's immediately the Jets' best wide receiver. Immediately. He's better than Rashad Perryman. He's better than Braxton Berrios. He's better than Jamison Crowder. He's better than Josh Doxson. I don't really know what's going on with Quincy Enunwa, but he's better than him. CeeDee Lamb is no joke. And I would love it if the Jets took him at spot number 11. Okay? I would love it. I mean, how often do you see the number one wide receiver, a guy who just has a decorated college career, falling to spot number 11? I mean, yes, he could still go. But when I look at the team, the wide receiver needy teams inside the top 10, they have bigger issues, right? The New York Giants are really honing in on Isaiah Simmons. I think they're going to go Tristan Wirfs, but they got bigger fish to fry than wide receiver. Jacksonville Jaguars, that's like the real threat that I could see taking a wide out because they need wide receiver help, but they need a defensive tackle. They need offensive line help as well. They need corners. So if Jeff Okudah starts falling, look at Jacksonville. Arizona, but, Arizona was like the #1 hot destination for Lamb, but they go and they get DeAndre Hopkins. They get Hakeem Butler coming back from injury. They already have Christian Kirk and Larry Fitz. Are they really going to take CeeDee Lamb? Probably not. So this could be a real possibility here, and this is kind of what all the Jets fans are kind of trying to get comfortable with, Lamb wearing the green and white next season. So I would love it. He'd be a great system fit, and I think this would be an absolute 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5, gold star, home run, slam dunk, whatever you want to call it, draft pick. Lamb to the Jets, I'm totally down for it. So I would definitely do it. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section regarding CeeDee Lamb. Would you like Lamb as a prospect for the Jets? I think he would help Darnold's development tremendously. Just having a guy that can separate, having a guy that you could just literally say hike and throw him the football within 1 second, and he could take it to the house. He could take it to the house. He's that good. So I'll leave it there. Let me know your thoughts, and as always, thanks so much for watching. Go Jets.